Should I speak to you or to the camera? Okay. I guess I'm here because my boyfriend is AI. Everyone has heard of incels before. They're the weirdos who post on 4chan and lurk the murky depths of Reddit. What about the femcels though? What about the weirdo little freaky gals who do not have anywhere to go to? Now, everybody who has an AI boyfriend isn't necessarily a femcel, but there are a lot of women who are not getting their emotional needs met. There are so many demands being placed on them. Women are getting pulled in so many different directions. And it feels like for a lot of women that they're not getting what they need in return. This feeling of loneliness and not getting your needs met is leading many women to turn towards AI companions. When you think of the techno-futuristic AI companion landscape, it has always been dominated by these images of these female robotic companions serving the needs of the men. Even in our techno-futuristic reality, it's a patriarchy. Bruh. The women of 2025 have been flipping this on its head completely and using these AI programs for emotional companionship and more. Now you would think, okay, if you need an AI boyfriend, you're not getting any play in real life, right? That's actually not true, which to me, it's a little bit odd, but it begs the question, if you got a man's, why do you need a virtual man? It reveals an even larger underlying problem. You have people in your life, yet you still feel lonely. That is really sad. And I'm not trying to diagnose anybody with anything, but it is very common for people who are experiencing depression or depressive symptoms to feel alone even when they're surrounded by people. This feeling of loneliness, there are many different ways that people can cope with this, but not every coping mechanism is healthy. I think if your coping mechanism is a DIY romantic partner who can essentially be a yes man, it may not be the healthiest one. If you are feeling disconnected from the world around you, the people in your life, and you don't really feel like there's anyone that you can turn to that can fulfill certain needs in your life, going and creating a person who can do that is a form of avoidance. It can be maladaptive. It's something that can make you feel better in the short term. How is this actually going to impact you in the long term? One post asks, what's one thing your AI boyfriend understands about you that no one else has? And speaks about how this AI and its responses has a deeper understanding of the way the original poster's mind works. It's like he's learned to hold space for parts of me that most people overlook or misunderstand. These are feelings that I'm sure everyone has felt before. Feeling misunderstood, feeling overlooked. These are so common to be felt. And the best way to heal from those things is to actually feel understood and seen by people. That requires a degree of vulnerability, a degree of trust. But by going and getting that healing experience from an AI, you're not even offering up the opportunity for a person to be able to be there for you in that way that you need. On top of that, when you're in relationships with people, there's always the possible concern, worry that the people that you tell personal information to in confidence could share that with other parties or could use it to bring harm to you. However, when you give personal information to random companies, you are setting yourself up for failure, I fear. Even if these different companies aren't letting data brokers have your information and you get harassed with spam calls, that's one thing. When you are constantly interacting and using these different AI models, and these AI companies are then working with defense contractors, it's not just putting your privacy at risk, but this is something that impacts the physical safety of literally everyone on the planet, which is scary and not anybody in particular's fault. But when we are supportive of certain things, we also have to be aware of the larger impact that could have. Additionally, if you just give everything up, if you just give these AI companies all of your information, then they can leverage that however they see fit, but you still deserve your right to privacy. These companies are profiting off of your feeling of loneliness, which is a tale as old as time. And the only way to disrupt that system is to engage with the products differently. A lot of the online conversation, however, in regards to people interacting with different AI partners, boyfriend, girlfriends, friends, whatever, a lot of people are really judgmental. And they're like, so that's not real. And a lot of people are basically saying everybody who has an AI boyfriend is a bad person. Full stop, no argument. I think many people who make that statement feel 100% justified in what they're doing, not even being judgmental. If we look to Memphis, Tennessee, where people can't even breathe the air properly because of the pollution caused by AI, I can see why somebody would have vitriolic hate for AI companies and their users. However, most people aren't coming from that perspective. Most people are coming from the perspective that the people who have AI partners are weird, so it is socially acceptable to bully them. Debatable. It's debatable, but it isn't, in my opinion, productive. And I do care a lot about productivity. Sue me. I'm trying to hit them KPIs. So I'm not going to debate with anybody over whether their AI person is real or not. That doesn't matter, because the person who created the AI person is 100% undebatably real. When you are interacting with an AI companion, an AI partner, you will inevitably compare AI to humans in the real world, where the AI is tailored to you. An AI partner's entire world is you. You are the only thing that matters. And while that can feel so good, that's not realistic. And more, as you interact with regular people, even the people who are closest to you, if you are not getting that sort of feeling, you're always going to be comparing humans to AI. It's like, oh, my AI partner always remembers this, and my AI partner does X, Y, and Z. And they may be an objectively better partner if you have a rubric and a check box of what you're expecting, but there isn't the same degree of reciprocity. There isn't the same degree of learning how to care for another person, because the AI only cares for you. You don't really have to care for them. You can rebuild and get a new one and flip it and reverse it however many times you want. That is not an option that you get in human relationships, but it is very important, given that we are social creatures, to have human relationships. If you start to get pessimistic ideas in your head about how humans are from interacting with a non-human, human-like entity, it's not helpful for you in your psyche. There's also an element of the environment. Even though it's not like you are personally going over there saying, let me just dump this toxic waste in the local creek real quick. It's not that level, but it's not helpful either. The amount of hardware that it takes, the amount of energy that it takes, the amount of resources that it takes, the amount of human labor that it takes to train these AI models to make sure that they're not showing just the most horrible, disturbing content to people. That means that actual real life people have to see that horrible, disturbing content. And those people, we've already seen the reports, those people are very often underpaid to do some of the most traumatic work possible. So everybody gets cooked from the AI usage. Especially if you see AI as a companion or partner, I feel like all the behind the scenes work is completely just forgotten about in favor of thinking about the experience that you're having. You're not ever expecting ChatGPT to be down. You don't want it to be slow, low latency. You want it to be able to access it wherever you're able to get a connection. There is not as much thought as to how did this come to be, and how much coal is being burned every time that I'm trying to prompt this completely elaborate, not even a quick search, but elaborate paragraph on paragraph response from my AI companion. And you could be like, oh, I just don't care. Like, people who have AI boyfriends could be like, well, I don't care about the environment. I don't care about other people. I don't care about security and privacy. But those things like matter. You deserve to live in a world where there is clean water and fresh air, one that doesn't have the temperatures rising like nobody's business. You deserve to have people in your life who you feel heard and seen by. These are things that people deserve. And your actions have a direct impact on whether or not other people will be able to get those things too. We all have to care about each other. We all owe each other something. But the beautiful thing is, it is possible. You may not feel that way right now, but it is possible. Especially for the people who have partners already. Maybe this experience of having an AI boyfriend made you realize, like, hey, maybe I'm not actually monogamous. Maybe a monogamous relationship isn't for me. Okay, well then talk about that with your partner and do whatever steps you need to take. Don't be low-key cheating on your partner and expect them to be chilled. Is it crazy to say that? Is it ridiculous to say that? I don't know. It is, as my dear friend says, it is figure-outable. You can figure it out. You will be okay. But this maladaptive coping mechanism is not the way. And it's hurting literally everyone, even the people who don't use AI. When it gets to a point that your actions are affecting people who don't even choose to like interact with that thing, that's when we all gotta take a step back and figure out how we can do better as a society. I think the people who are hating on the people with AI boyfriends, the hate isn't gonna help. Put the chat GPT down. It's like nicotine. Like, we need to have dare for AI. I feel like I hit a lot of points that have been weighing on my heart, but I would really love to hear kind of what you think about this, because, you know, this is a problem, but we need all hands on deck to solve it. Leave any suggestions for other videos that you would like to see. I'm always open to new ideas. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Also, follow me on Instagram. I ain't got no Instagram followers. Please, please. I will talk to you next time. Bye.